Thank you, Chair. Just some input on the terms of reference. I would suggest that we allow political parties maybe to send some written submissions so we can find expression in the first draft. So I think it'll save us a lot of time when we reviewing them on Friday. So if you could just circulate who we can send those submissions for. And just on the issue of us establishing, or maybe in the month of August, moving to Gauteng, we're obviously in agreement with that. But let's just be cautious on highlighting that we must work with the Commission of Inquiry. Like, that is more important than what the work we are doing here, and us moving or having our ad hoc committee in Gauteng is more of a secondary to the Commission of Inquiry. We must be careful, and we must be carefully guided that this is a very, very separate process, and we are not relying on the Commission of Inquiry to be able to get our witnesses, etc. Let's not put ourselves on the back burner, and we've just started. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Chair, and congratulations for your elections as a chairperson. I fully agree with the venue as proposed, but I would suggest that we request a free venue, either a hall or a chambers of the council or legislature, that we don't incur any cost in the execution of this responsibility, and even encourage the commission to do the same, to go and look for a venue that is available for such work, because we must not cost our people a lot of money. The other issue which I would want us to deal with, and I agree with Honorable Mateis on us making submissions on the terms of reference, because I want us to deal with the aspect of the criminals who are already in prison, who might share a lot of information with us. Very dangerous criminals. How do we get them here? Can we summon them here? And all of that. Because you're talking drugs, if you're talking drugs and drugs cartel, you must know you're talking about some of the people who are already in prison, who might share a lot of light. So we need terms of reference that will clarify some of those things. Chairperson, thanks.
Good morning, Chairperson. Not that I'm senior chair, but but I come from legal services. Chairperson, the way we see it is that first and foremost, you are correct in saying there's been a lot of work that has been done. I mean, in the background, and I think if you were to ask from ourselves, we already have draft terms of reference, Chairperson. And of course, in the next 2 or 3 days, those can be released. I mean, to members. I mean, for comments. Our main worry is that if you say we must wait for inputs from political parties, then that impacts the timelines. Whereas what we could do, Chair, we could simply circulate a draft, and of course, people would be able to comment on it. And of course, Chair, another thing is, there's a lot of backroom legal technical support which needs to take place, and some of the issues we can deal with them when we meet in the management meeting, of course, under your leadership, Chairperson. Because Honorable Sangoni is correct, I mean, in saying the witnesses will have to be identified. And of course, Chairperson, I'm saying this with the greatest of respect. What General Mkwana has said, Chairperson, on the 6th of July, 2025, is not evidence, Chairperson, in a technical sense. And of course, one would need a legal person to go around speaking to people who will be able to corroborate what Lieutenant General Mkwana has said. And of course, as you can imagine, Chairperson, the committee, I mean, cannot do that. And of course, you need, sworn statements from witnesses drafted, and so on and so on. So that's the kind of work we think will be taking place over the next 2 to 3 weeks, Chairperson. But if you were to say what is our firm or concrete proposal, Chairperson, is that the draft terms of reference be circulated, and of course members or even different political parties can comment on them, we firm them up. We have a meeting where they are considered. Of course, consider means the committee may either adopt or not adopt them. I'm not sure the Chairperson if
No, we are not saying that you must wait for the. What Honorable Matthias was saying is that before Friday, when the preliminary terms, remember they remain preliminary until the committee adopts them. What she was essentially saying is that it's a proactive step to say, can we as political parties deposit our proposals so that at the time you release your final draft, it incorporates what we would have. She's not saying let's wait for us. When that draft has served in a meeting, the meeting can look at it and decide that this is inadequate. Let's go back and add the following. And if the meeting is happy on that day, then the meeting will say, look, we are happy with these terms of reference. It's something that we can work on. Let the work of the committee begin. So we are cognizant of all the things, the backroom work that has, behind the scenes work that has to happen. And we have said that because you may have some form of expertise in this field, the committee will rely on your guidance to say, these are the things that you can do, like what you are saying when you say what the police commissioner said on that day is not evidence. Obviously, in the meeting, we are going to give you a chance to make a presentation, and you will be able to explain what you mean when you say that is not evidence, so that we must be at the same level of frequency. Is that understood?
I agree with what the chief will be saying, but you are all ignoring a very important proposal made by Honorable Matthias. Just give us the person who must send the proposals to. It's as simple as that. And then the proposals by end of Friday, midday, then they are closing. But if you give us a person now who will submit while it's at here, because we've got those things. We didn't come here to play. We came here ready. And I don't know what is this remark that General Mkhwanazi is not what he presented is not evidence. I don't know where does that arise, because it doesn't arise at all. We're just trying to get an advice on how those things can be dealt with. General Mkhwanazi, you can't say what he presented is not evidence. We'll deal with that. We're still dealing with terms of reference. We can't start by saying General Mkhwanazi, what he said is not evidence. That's very dismissive. Right at the beginning, we're starting on a wrong footing. So please, when people are asked, especially support staff, they must not enter into the terrain. They must just give us technical advice and leave the rest to us. Because we're not going to live here being part of a remark that says what Mkhwanazi said is not evidence. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Yes, that statement was completely out of line based on the allegations that were made by General Mkhwanazi and the office that he holds. But let me also put on record something that isn't sitting well with me, and I just wish to place this on record, since Action SA does not hold any voting rights when it comes to voting for the chairperson. And we speak about gaining public trust, and we speak about this committee putting the public first, and we speak about South Africans' eyes being on us. I don't understand when we say that we need to start off on the right foot. But how do we garner public trust here this morning when we have a chairperson that has been elected from the very party where most of these people are embroiled in? How does that make the public feel to know that today we have a member from the same family where all of these people come from? And I'm referring to the previous commissions, establishments, as actually say we have said from the onset that South Africans are tired of committees, South Africans are tired of commissions. And here we start off here today, and I say again, we don't have rights. And we have an ANC chairperson as the chairperson of this committee.
Chair,
Thank
can I
you.
call order? Please.
Honorable members, do we want to discuss this?
No, we just want to echo Action SA's sentiment that this was, and we did release a statement as the EFF last night, actually calling on political parties that are represented in the GNU to abstain from putting forward a chairperson from those parties to present, to let the people of South Africa have some confidence in Parliament. It mustn't be an extension of government all the time. And it's not a bad thing for us right now, Chair, to be able to express that in the committee. We are here, and obviously we're going to do our best, as we always have, particularly as the EFF. But it was an opportunity that was missed by the GNU partners, starting with the ANC, to build confidence in the country, particularly on this horrific issue of crime. Thank you.
Okay.
No, thank you very much. No, Chair, we think the Action SA is raising a genuine concern because we want to run a credible process here, which is free from partisan, from party politics. And there's no need to bully each other here with point of orders when parties are rightfully raising concerns and they are cautioning the committee to not fall into a trap of driving party politics. It's her right to do so. So we must avoid this thing of bullying each other with point of orders when it's unnecessary to do so.
Honorable Sokanyile, allow the member to speak and finish.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Well, once again, I know that this is a very sensitive matter. I've said this earlier, Chair. It's not about you. It should not be personal. People should not take it personal. You know, and I know some people will have heart feelings, heart failure, BP, and whatever you call it, high blood, and all those things. But as a committee here, we take no prisoners here. We are not just those, whether fifth administration or whatever administration. We must make a difference. When our term ends in this parliament, we must make a difference. There's nothing wrong with what honorable member said, Adams. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure why now the people are catching feelings. The issue is that if you look at the Scopa, I'll give you an example. We had Temba Kodi. There was no GNU during those. Yes, it was beyond reproach. You know, as we speak here, a member who's on suspension is still participating in Parliament. So now, there's nothing wrong with discussing why people are being. What's wrong with that? We know that we're not going to change the decision. We are a chairperson now, yes. But the issue is that we have missed an opportunity here. It's a fact. It must be recorded as such. No problem. No one must defend anybody. No one must defend anybody. We are not kids here. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah,
Very much, Chairperson, and I think to a large extent, both yourself and Honorable Sokanyile have covered me. What I wanted to say, Chair, is that we cannot on the very first day want to collapse this process. And if we are going to have members coming here with the intention of being populist and trying to use what is a very, to quote your words, what you said is a grave concern of the people, they use that for cheap political point scoring, then we are going to have a problem. When you made your opening remarks, you said the people of South Africa are looking to us on this process. There will be no stone that is left unturned. And I think that as members, we should conduct ourselves in that manner and not come here and have to defend statements that are made with the intention of garnering attention for cameras. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sauls.
Chairperson, there's a difference between not being happy with the ANC occupying the position of a chairperson with a person occupying the position of a chairperson. So an impression must never be created that we have a problem with you. We have a problem with the ANC occupying that position. Secondly, You, Chairperson, said we are politicians. Since there's no agenda or anything, let's speak. People speak here. When people speak because you open the floor, they are told they are speaking for cameras. As if some people have got a right here to come and give us notes and tell us what to say. We are not just speaking. The chairperson said speak because it's a first meeting. So we express ourselves and all of that, and then we leave. She's raising her observation on the position of the chairperson. There's not, because her observation doesn't change anything. It will not reverse what has democratically happened. But it's important that an observation be made by a member if she so wishes, because the chair opened the floor. Nowhere do they say democratic processes cannot be questioned. She's within her right. At no point of order is necessary, because she's not going out of any agreed upon agenda item. So, and she's speaking for the first time. Action SA is speaking for the first time. All we could have done, it was to protect her and allow her to make observation, and we proceed. Not for her to be character assassinated the way people are doing now. I think she must be protected. To be called populist, to be called cameras, it's out of order. It's really unbecoming. It's unacceptable, especially when we're just starting. She has not done anything wrong, Chair. And that's the point I wanted to raise. Thanks.
Okay. The last person will be honorable members from the MKP. The psychosocial support enjoys support from the meeting, and of course with some element of clarity. And you must also clarify the other matters in the submission. Chair, Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. One, as I said, I'm not going to waste your time anymore, Chair. If number 3 is accepted, the others, is not accepted, it's fine. Let's not even debate, because at the end of the day, you know what's going to happen. And the chief whip said that they did not connive, somewhere. I've been sitting in.
Honorable
Chair, no, Chair, you are not fair. Chair, wait.
Confine yourself to.
No, Chair, you gave Sangoni, he was talking about something else. You gave the chief whip something. Now I'm talking. Now you don't want me to speak. Why? I'm saying to you, Chair. Yeah. No, Chair. I'm saying to you. Number 1, the committee will facilitate when necessary the other speaker's office. I understand that. But the first one from the terms of reference does not include members of the committee. That's number 1. The rest is the same, yes. But the members of the committee in the first paragraph, the external legal counsel, where is it? Yeah. It does not include members of the committee. It's only a team of officials, including committee secretaries, assistant researchers, and content advisors and legal advisors only. But it's fine. I'm not going to worry about that. As I said, I can protect myself. Others, they will see anyway. Independent psychological support number 3, if that is accepted, is fine. The rest, I'm not going to waste your time and explain, because the same is going to happen like in the last 3, which we tried to explain and it was rejected. So let's not waste time, because it's all about numbers. That's a fact, whether they accept or not, but it's all about numbers. And as I said, that I hope at the end of all these 3 months at the committee, we are not going to come to that. We've seen that in the section 89. I'm going to repeat that again. We've seen that in the section 94. We've seen it in many committees. It's all about numbers. Why are we beating about the bush? And if that's the case, I pity South Africans who will be wasting their time if it's going about numbers. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. So we're moving ahead with that satisfaction. That number. Hello?
My hand is up, Chair.
Honorable Malema.
No, again, what Honorable Skosana is saying, it's unacceptable. We apply our mind, we think. We don't work according to numbers. Numbers are only used for voting cows. So you must never come here and want to call us things we are not. If we agree with you, we agree with you. If we don't agree with you, we don't agree with you. What's the point of wanting to cast aspersion on other people if they don't agree with you? Yeah? That is unacceptable. You must, no one, I don't know anybody here. I don't talk to anyone. I'm listening here the whole day. I'm sitting here listening. Where I make an input, I make an input. Where I agree. Where I disagree, I disagree. And then you say it's numbers. If you cannot apply your mind and persuade others, don't make that our problem. Yeah, everybody has been persuading each other. And that should be the spirit of this committee. This committee is not like the rest of other committees. It's a different kind of a committee which seeks to rescue our country from a crisis. Instead of coming with that cooperative spirit of saying, let's go work together, you come with an attitude here and you say to us, it's numbers. People use numbers.
Honorable Malema.
And don't make us part of the people who don't think. We think.
Respectfully, so allow me to stop you.
Thanks, Chair.
Chair, the Honorable Kosana has accepted the decision of the meeting, and I plead with you, honorable members, not to pick fight. Please, Honorable
Chairperson.
Honorable Kosana, I have recognized you.
Thank you, Chair. You know, the context I've made my submission stands. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Family, I'm back again. Let's talk about the ad hoc committee that is dealing with the allegations that Mkhwanazi spewed in that press conference. You know, at some point, I was looking at the committee. Okay, first thing is how the chairperson was elected. ANC had a strategy that they want to just, I think it was well planned, and they used a little bit of numbers that they have now, although now they are no more in power like they used to control everything. Mtumsenit coming up and electing the chairperson Lakhanyana, they were quick to do that. We can remember very well that EFF released a statement that they were not happy that anything that can come from the people who are in the GNU, more especially on the ANC side, because all these allegations that were spewed by Mkhwanazi are pointing, all the arrows are pointing on the ANC side, the corruption that they have been doing as they were in power for the longest time. That was my first take. My second take, I want to come and talk about Julius Malema. What I have realized about Julius Malema is a matured politician now. Very, very matured. He chooses when to talk, and when he talks, he doesn't just throw words. His words are well calculated, and they go straight to the point. Something that he doesn't like, he will say it as is. He doesn't just go about and say, let's try to mold this and this. He just calls a spade a spade. That is the Julius Malema. But a very matured politician now. You could see the way he speaks, the way when he emphasizes on a certain point, he makes sure that everybody listens. That is Julius Malema for you. In that committee, there was one lady from the Action SA who was not happy about the elections that ANC decided to elect somebody from their side when all arrows are pointing at the corruption that is on the ANC side. That was uncalled for, but they decided to do it. It's okay. Now it's democratic because they were that Mr. Al-Khanyana was elected, and Malema declined because he was also nominated, but he declined. He said he was not available for reasons that I understand. Because mostly numbers count at some point, but it doesn't mean that if they have numbers, they can defeat, because all this thing goes with how will be their proceedings when they are going in to question whoever witness that will come there. Even Mkhwanazi, when it comes to give the side of the story, what he said there, and give receipts of what he was talking about. What I think will be a problem in the committee, there will be a lot of finger pointing that Mkhwanazi might bring up there, and ANC will try to classify those kind of names that might come up and say, Mkonas will say, this what happened, this is what happened, so and so. When I said in parliament, there were also politicians who are corrupt, who are cooperating with the syndicate from outside. And when he starts to name the names, then that will be a problem. Because it's when they will try, ANC will try by all means to stop Mkonas from naming names. But I don't think they will be able because of the committee that is there, because ANC has no power to do as they used to do things. They were going unchecked, and that's why a lot of corruption continues for the past 30 years. People stealing, but today it's something else. Politics of our country are changing, and we are happy about that, but we only need a very strong leader who is very decisive. Okay, that's my point about Julius Malema. And another thing that I realized there is each and every member that is there, their purpose. There might be those who have got their own agenda, but most of, except for ANC, most of this other organization in that committee, I think they are tired of this corruption that is going on in the country and they want to bring it to an end. But it will depend how much powerful that committee is. Will it take everything lying, like when ANC try to play games, will they just let ANC get away with it? Or they will challenge it up to a point whereby there might be heated instances whereby confrontation might come up in that committee. And that will help us as voters to understand that this is the ANC that doesn't even understand that they have lost power. And if they want to gain power, they have to deal with the corruption. They don't have to shield people who are corrupt in their organization. That is how they can win the people, because people are suffering out there because of the corruption, the stealing that was going on within the ANC. Because all these committees, instead of, if a president like Cyril Ramaphosa took a stand when Mkwanazi said whatever he said about the minister, because he should have just suspended this person with no pay. That was going to be a very good thing. Or he should have fired Mkunu. Not to wait for committees to clear him and all this, they try to protect. But at the same time, I do understand that Ramaphosa is also protecting his skin. Remember, Mkunu is the same guy who protected Ramaphosa and went on to steal the Pala documents. So now, it's like, I helped you, you have to rescue me. You cannot let me, because yourself, you wouldn't be in that office if I didn't do this. That is exactly what is going on now there. They are trying to protect each other at the expense of the South African in our own taxes. So I wish ANC wake up in their slumber and smell the coffee, because their numbers are not going any. There's one time Malema said something about ANC. He said when they lose, there's no way that at any time they will gain votes. When their numbers go down, they keep on going down. There's never ever any instance since 1994 when they were in power that since their numbers have been going down, there was no way that their numbers sometimes show a different sign that, okay, they were growing at some point, and some point they were a little bit having some serious problem in some provinces. But when they decline, they just decline. They keep on going down, 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 down. Because the prediction now, I think it will be lucky for them to get 20%. If they don't work on themselves as they do shield people who are corrupt in the organization. They should do away with corrupt individuals for them to at least gain something. It can be 1%, 2%, 3%, but if they do good, people see that they do good. There might be people who will say, okay, who are sitting at home. They say, let's we think now they are trying, let's go on and vote for them. But if they decide not to do anything and work on themselves, like in this committee is a mirror to them, how they will defend the corrupt, instead of working with everybody in that committee to remove all these corrupt individuals. Because this is a chance for ANC to work on cleansing itself. But I don't think Mtumseni is there for a joke. He's there to defend. Because there at some point, MK talked about Pala, and they were quick to come up and start to say, no, this is not part of what we are here for. It shows that those people haven't learned anything. Anyway, family, what do you think about everything? How do you see the committee? Do you think the committee will bring up good results? Myself, I think there will be good results, but it will depend at the end whether those good results that will come up from there will not be put back to the shelves where Zondo Commission findings were put, because they locked them in the safe instead of dealing with the problems, and they always keep the people. And Zondo himself, he went, he was called during the time of when the ministers were taking out of office. He was the one that was helping them out, knowing that those people were implicated. But to tell us that it was a difficult time for him, I don't think he was being honest, because he himself, how he got into the office, it was a payback, because he shielded Ramaphosa in the Zondo Commission, and in back pay, Ramaphosa gave him the CJ. Then now he was given CJ. Now, so Ramaphosa wants these ministers to work with him to continue shielding him. He was supposed to be there for Ramaphosa. That is what happened. Family, what do you think? Drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What do you think? Do you think everything will be okay? Bravo, bravo.